Before we start this video, a large thank you to Santiago, Baldric, Todd, Radislaw, Daniel, Basil, and Istvan for their support on Patreon. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hello guys, okay, let's start off by creating a hip model changer script on the character's hips. Now the legs will consist of the hips and the left and right leg. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So let's create it. I'm just going to copy and paste the exact same code from the torso model changer and paste it here like so. And I'm renamed everything from helmet or torso to hip. And I'm going to do that right now. So let's just name that. Okay, there we go. So again, you can just copy and paste that. It is exactly the same. Now that we have the hip model changer script created, let's make sure it works. As you can see, yep, it grabs all of the models under the character's hips. Okay, now let's move along and get to the next part of this because that part was exactly the same. Let's create a new script. I am going to call this script leg equipment, and we'll put this under scripts, items, and equipment. Now this is going to behave just like the torso equipment and helmet equipment, very similar anyway. So let's put it in a namespace. We're going to make it derived from equipment item. So that's very straightforward. Just going to erase the start and update functionality. Going to paste here the create asset menu so we can make a copy of it in game as a scriptable game object. And I forgot to add my namespace here on hip model changer, so I'm going to do that right now. There we go. Now back over here on the leg equipment. Like I said, let's make it derived from equipment item. And if you see it on torso equipment, all we have right now is the torso model name. We're going to do the same for the leg equipment. We're going to say hip model name rather, because the leg equipment will consist of three pieces, the hips and the left and right leg. So let's go and make two variables for the left and right leg. Now you can also add knee pads. So let's put some pseudocode here for those. The process of adding knee pads is exactly the same as the process of adding the left and right leg, which I will show you. So if you want to go do that, you can go ahead. I'm probably going to do it off video because the process is identical to how we're going to add the left and right leg, which we're going to do in this video. Okay, so let's go over to the player equipment manager. And let's say hip model changer right here. We're going to have to add the left and right leg model changers shortly after. So let's say hip model changer. And then on awake, we're going to call that like we've called every other model changer. So let's say hip model changer equals get component in children, hip model changer. Okay, so far so good. Now, this process is going to be very straightforward. It's just going to be a couple more, I guess, modular individual components. So let's go down to where we handle equipping all of our equipment to. And right now we have our helmet and our torso thing going on. Right below that, let's say hip model changer dot unload all hip models. And then we're going to say if player inventory dot current leg equipment does not equal null, and we have to add that. Don't worry, it's not there right now. Then we're going to say hip model changer dot equip hip model by name. We're going to reference that from our player inventory dot current leg equipment dot hip model name, which again we don't have. Don't stress. We're going to add that very shortly. And then we're going to make an else statement as usual. And if we don't have any leg equipment equipped to search for, we're going to just create, or rather equip, our naked hip model, which we also don't have created yet. And we're going to make that right now. So as you can see so far, the process is rather identical. Where it's going to deviate is in the next part because we're going to handle equipping multiple parts per one equipment item. But for now, let's just call these variables and then we'll get over to that. So first, let's go to our player inventory and we have to create this current leg equipment variable here so we have something to reference. So let's jump over there. Okay, public leg equipment, sorry. And we're going to call it current leg equipment. Very straightforward, very simple. Now let's save that and let's go back here into the player equipment manager and we need to make our naked hip model. So just down here where I have the pseudocode for naked leg model, we'll put the naked leg models after. We're going to make a public string naked hip model. And then we will be good. And now we have to actually write in the model identification for that in game, but we'll get to that momentarily as well. Now if we scroll down, we have no errors. Okay, that should work fine. So let's save that and see where we're at right now. Let's go into game here. I'm going to right click, create, items, equipment. Oh, it's not popping up. Oh, I think I know why. I forgot. There we go. I have to change it from torso to leg equipment. When I pasted it, I forgot to change the name. So let's change that to leg equipment and save. That way we can make an actual leg equipment item. And now I'm going to right click, create, items, leg equipment. Okay, cool. I'm just going to call this one Knights plate legs. And now I actually have to put the hip model name right here. We don't have the left leg or right leg active yet, so that won't matter if we change that. So I'm just going to copy this here. Character hips male 04. You can rename those if you want. I'm just going to keep it the same for now. Paste that in the item name here. And now I'm going to start the game. Actually, let's make another one first. Let's make the Fallen Knights leggings so I can see the difference, make sure the switch is working. And I'll just paste, we'll say 05 in here. Now I'm going to go to the player's inventory here, and let's actually go to where, or the equipment is rather, and make the naked legs, or the naked hip model work. I think it's just 00. So now under the naked hip model, it's character hips male 00. So let's start by actually not putting on any leg equipment and seeing if that works. Okay, and yep, we have our naked hips. Excellent. Okay, now let's actually try to equip some hip models. So let's use the Knights leggings. Let's hit play. Okay, that didn't work. What went wrong here? I think I know what went wrong. I think I put the name in the wrong place. Yep, okay, so it's not supposed to go under the item name as I told you before. It's the hip model name. The item name is what we're going to reference in the UI in the future. So I got that backwards. I think I did it with the other one too. The Fallen Knights leggings. Yes, I did. Whoops. So we'll copy that here and just paste that here. And I'm just going to say Fallen Knights leggings up here. Now this UI section doesn't matter for now, but it will in the future when we add that. So I'm just going to fill it out here now when I remember to. Alright, so let's start the game here, and there we go. Yeah, okay, there's our Knights leggings. Now let's make sure the Fallen Knights leggings works as well. So we'll just change that out real quick so we can see the difference. And let's hit play. And there we go. Yep, okay, working as intended so far. Excellent. Now, this is how we handle the helmet and the torso, and etc., etc. But what if we want to add multiple pieces? Well, the first step is to actually add another couple of these model changers to our left and right legs, respectively. So let's just go to the right leg here, or the left, doesn't matter which one first. And we're going to say right leg model changer, and then we're going to do the same thing and say left leg model changer. I think the Cinti models actually have the game objects parented under these headers incorrect. And I mean, I think with under the right leg, it'll say left leg, and under the left leg, it'll say right leg, because I did this in my solo project using skin mesh renderers, and I had to change that. So we'll see momentarily. Just create these two again, and like I said, guys, it's the model changer. It works the exact same way. Just copy and paste the logic from any other model changer you have, and you can replace the name with leg, or you can just replace it with just model if you want to. It doesn't need to actually, you can just literally use the same exact code over and over again. I'm only giving them separate scripts so I can reference the separate models that they're attached to. The logic is always identical. So let's delete the start and update functionality on both of these. And like I said, I'm literally just going to copy and paste this off video real quick. I'm just going to copy everything right here from the hip model switcher and paste it in the legs. And I'll just come back to you after I rename it. So let's go back to here, paste it in here, and paste it in here. And I'm just going to rename hips to, we'll just say leg, and then I can just use it for both leg scripts. So I've gone through this, and there we go. I've renamed everything. And now I'll copy it, and over here in the other one, I'll paste it. So what we're going to do is actually pretty simple. We're going to reference these scripts. Let's make sure they populate first. Yep, and yep, my suspicions were correct. So right here, the leg model's on the left. You see how it says leg right, but the header clearly says left. And if I go in game, if you click the legs, you'll actually see that if I click on a right leg, it will appear on the left side. If I click on a left leg, it will appear on the right side. That's easily fixable. Just rename that. I'm going to do that off video momentarily, but it's not too important right now. I'm just going to get back to the point I was making. So we're going to reference these model changers on our player equipment manager, but we're going to save the model names on the item equipment itself. So I will show you what I mean. It's very, very simple. So let's go to our player equipment manager first, and let's reference our both left and right leg equipment model changers. And let's make our naked left leg and naked right leg variable names. You can take a sip of tea, just 1 second. And down here under the equip all models on start, we're going to go to where it says hip model changer right here. And we're going to actually add some code here for the left and right legs. So up here, let's start off by saying left leg model changer, left leg model changer. And we'll make a variable of type right leg model changer, and we'll call that right leg model changer. We'll call those on awake. And again, just like before, left leg model changer equals get component in children, left leg model changer, and right leg model changer equals get component in children, right leg model changer. And then all we're going to do is basically activate the model in the children of these game objects based on the name of the model that it wants to activate from the equipped item. So very straightforward. We'll come in here first, and we're going to make sure we're actually disabling all the left and right leg models. So we don't want to equip two at one time. So let's start by saying left leg model changer, unequip all leg models, and right leg model changer, unequip all leg models. And then if our equipment is not null in our inventory, we're going to do something. Let's just clean this up for a second. Let's just make it so you can see some clear separation here. I'm just going to create some slashes and say leg equipment, torso equipment, and then helmet equipment. Because even though these are all separate equipments, they're going to each have multiple individual pieces, or potentially they could have multiple individual pieces. So then we're going to say if the equipment in your leg inventory slot is not null, we're going to say left leg model changer, equip leg model by name, player inventory.current leg equipment.left leg name, right leg model changer dot equip leg model by name, player inventory.current leg equipment.right leg name. So you can see here, it's actually just getting these three individual pieces from the current leg equipment in your inventory. It's getting the hips, the left, and the right leg, and it's talking to the hip changer, the right leg changer, and the left leg changer, and it's going to set them up depending on the name in the current leg equipment. And then else, we're just going to say left and right leg dot equip your model by name, the naked left and right leg model. So you can see, very easy to follow. If you understood the previous videos, it's just that again, but we're using multiple pieces, modular pieces. So you can basically add elbows, knees, multiple concepts to this. You can even add like hip attachments, like the rope you see on the character here in the game. So let's go over now to our knight's plate legs, and we're going to add in the left and right legs. But first, I'm actually going to rename the legs here because that's going to confuse the hell out of me. I'm just going to show you real quick what I mean in case I didn't make it clear before. You can see here if I come behind the character, and if I go down here to the leg that's already equipped. Actually, is that even highlighting there? Oh, no, here it is, right. So you can clearly see this is the right leg, but here it says this is the left leg, and the header says it's the right, but the trial says it's the left. So I'm just going to quickly fix this, and you will see, too, that the other game object parent, where if we click the parent of the right leg, or the left leg, sorry, the same thing is happening. It's giving us, it says right leg in the child, but it says left leg in the parent. So, okay, I fixed that. And now I'm just going to copy the names here and place them on the knight's leggings. I'm going to give each legging I've just created a left and right leg. So I will be right back. I'm just going to sip this tea again real quick. Okay, let's put that there. Excellent. Looks good so far. Let's make sure if you're copying and pasting it, you don't actually put two right legs or two left legs because it is name sensitive. Wonderful. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm just going to copy this, and don't forget to put your naked legs on the naked left and right leg on your player equipment manager. So mine is male right _ Lego 1 and left, but I've renamed mine, so yours will be different if you're using a Cinti model as well like me. All right, that looks good, guys. So let's actually drop in, let's take off our legs first, and you can see that works, except for the knee pads, which I haven't set up on the video. But we are naked right now from the legs. So now let's try actually equipping a full set of legs, and we'll see if it does the hips and the legs at the same time. So let's do the knight's leggings. Let's hit play. And wonderful, there you go. So you can see you got both the left and right leg and the hips. Now again, let's do the fallen leggings just to make sure too that the switch is happening correctly. I know it is, but just to make sure. Yes, there we go. So you got your new left and right leg and your hip models. Okay, let's do the same thing for our hands. And then we're going to do our chest too, because as you know, chest plates have like an upper shoulder area to them. So we're going to get that done in this video as well. So again, on the upper, lower, left, and right hands, all these things right here, you want to add a model changer. So I'm going to do this very quickly while I drink this tea as well. You're going to want to add a model changer to all these components. So I'm just going to say, we'll start by saying upper right arm model changer, upper left arm model changer, lower right arm model changer, lower left arm model changer. That can get confusing, so take your time. But again, the logic is identical, guys. So this time around, I'm just going to copy and paste the logic, and I'm just going to name it, instead of saying upper left arm model or lower left arm model, I'm just going to say model because it's identical across all forms. We're just going to be using the same thing. Again, we just need to have the scripts attached to different components so we know which component we are referencing, so we know which model section we are changing. And I'm going to take a sip of this tea again, just one moment. Okay, wonderful. So let's do this here. And then the right and left hands. And then we'll jump back into Visual Studios here and we'll get this done. You've all made it this far in the series. Very, very, very far in the series. So doing something like this is a cakewalk for all of you, I'm sure. The worst thing that might happen to you is you might get confused in your naming conventions because we're doing a lot of body parts right now. And I know that can be a lot to mess with at one time. So let's open up all these scripts here. Every one of these that we've just created. And again, I'm just going to go up through this list here. And we're going to make sure they're all open. We're going to go right across the line. Let's go to one of our model changers that we've already created. Going to go here to the leg model changer. Just going to copy and paste the entirety of this logic. I'm going to close it out so we're not confused. And then we're going to paste it in here. Don't forget to do your namespace too and across all these. So namespace SG for me. And let's paste the logic in here now. And I'm going to rename, I'm just going to change everything to models. So a list of models, we're going to say get all models, unequip all models, equip model by name, if you get what I'm saying here. And then I can paste the logic without having to do any more edits across every single script we have here. And then we're going to reference them all individually in the player equipment manager. So just like before, it's just like the leg equipment with a few more steps. Instead of just a left and right leg, we're going to be using the left, right hand, and the lower left and lower right arms. And then on the chest equipment, we're going to add the upper left and upper right arms with our torso. So then the chest piece will look like a full chest piece. Your gloves also have an extension to your lower arms. And your legs have the hips and both legs. And again, if you guys would like, you can add the elbow pads and the knee pads and an optional hip attachment for the equipment. It's all the same, really. Okay. There we go. That's all copied and pasted. So let's go over to let's put our namespaces first. Now let's go to our player equipment manager and let's reference all of these model changers. So remember, it's the lower left, lower right, upper left, upper right, and the left and right hands. But first, let's actually divide these again so we can really see what we're working with and what each equipment piece has as far as its components goes. So I'm going to say head equipment and then torso equipment, and then I'm going to add the upper left arm model changer under the torso equipment, and I'm going to add the upper right arm model changer under the torso equipment. So we're just going to call that upper left and upper right arm model changers. And then I'm going to create some slashes here again and say leg equipment. And then right below that, let's create some slashes and say hand equipment. And for the hand equipment, we're going to need the lower left and lower right arm model changer variables and the left and right hand hand model changer variables. Sorry. I'm going to drink a sip of this tea just 1 second. Okay. We're just going to call these on awake just like before. So again, this step is identical. This is all a very similar process, just with a lot of modular components. I'm trying to go through it as clearly as I can because I know it's not the process itself that is confusing, but there is a large amount of volume of it, so make sure you take your time. So down here on awake, again, let's just call these upper left arm model changer equals get component upper left arm model changer. Then we're going to say upper right arm model changer equals get component upper right arm model changer. And then we will say lower arm model changer equals get component lower arm model changer. We'll do the same for the lower right arm, and then we will do the same for the hands. I was going to do this in 2 videos, but I wanted to do it in one because it's the same process, so splitting it off twice would be a little silly to me, because in each individual equipment video now we've covered a different concept with the actual equipment. So this one we're actually learning how to do, multiple pieces per one equipment item, your left and right leg with your hips, etc. So that was the core of this video, because I know some people were wondering how we were going to do that. So I thought I would combine the hands and the legs and finish off the chest all in this singular video, but it is a long video for sure. So let's go down here now to where we equip all of our models on start. Actually, sorry, go back to the torso equipment first, and let's add 2 strings for upper left and upper right arm models, because your torso is going to have that shoulder area on it too. You can put these on your hand equipment optionally if you want. If you want just your torso to be strictly, the torso area, but I like using these upper arm areas for it too. Typically, when you think of a chest plate, you think of the upper arms and the chest plate itself. And I'm going to add some pseudocode here for the left and right elbow pad. I might do those off video, and you know how to do those by now. So let's create a new script. We're going to call this hand equipment, and this will be Again, the same concept as before. Let's open it up. We're going to erase the start and update functionality, and then we're going to put our namespace down. And we're just going to say, we're going to reference 4 strings here. We're going to need our lower left and lower right arm models and our left and right hand. Again, this will derive from equipment item because it needs to get its stat or its physical defense stats. Let's create an asset menu and say hand equipment, and let's just start punching in these variables here. So I'm going to say public string left hand model name, public string right hand model name, and then lower left arm model name and lower right arm model name. Okay, moving along swiftly. Let's go back into, or let's create some hand equipment here now, and let's actually set it up so we can do this and load the hand models when we equip some items. Alright, so I'm just going to go back into our player here now, and let's see, it's open for inventory. Let's create a public hand equipment variable on our current equipment, and we're going to call that current hand equipment. And now we have all 4 equipment slots actually filled out in inventory. So down on equip all items on start, let's go right down here, and on our torso model changer, let's say upper left arm model changer dot unload all models, and our upper right arm model changer dot unload all models. This is cool too because then you can have torso equipment that have like one sleeve, you know, so you can give them like one arm is missing, etc., etc. So let's say upper left arm model changer dot equip model by name player inventory dot current torso equipment dot upper left arm model. And then we're going to do the same for the upper right arm model. So let's say upper right arm model changer dot equip, not equo, dot equip model by name, player inventory, dot current torso equipment, dot upper right arm model name. And then we have to do the same else. Well, we got to make some naked arm models. I don't think we have those made yet. So we'll say upper left arm model changer dot equip model name. I'm just going to leave that blank for right now. And then we'll say upper right arm model changer dot equip model by name. I will also leave that blank for right now. Let's go up there and let's make those naked models. So we'll just say public string. We'll say naked upper left arm model, or upper left arm is enough, honestly. Then we could say naked upper right arm, and then you could say naked lower left arm and naked lower right arm. And while we're here, we can say naked left hand and naked right hand as well. I'm going to take a sip of this tea again. TASMR. I'm joking. Okay. Public string, naked left hand, and public string, naked right hand. Now we're almost done. Very, very close. So let's throw in the naked models here. Naked left arm, naked upper left arm, and naked upper right arm. Now the last thing we have to do is this same logic, but for our hand equipment, and then we are done. So let's just make some slashes here so we can see the clear separation so we're not too confused. We're going to say hand equipment. We're going to say if player inventory dot current hand equipment does not equal null. Well, let's actually search for the hand equipment and assign some models. Else, we're going to equip our naked models because there's no hand equipment in our slot. So we will say lower left arm model changer dot equip model by name player inventory dot current hand equipment dot left or lower left arm model name. Then we'll say lower right arm model changer dot equip model by name player inventory dot current hand equipment dot lower right arm model name. And then lastly, we'll do it just 2 more times for the left and right hand. We will say left hand model changer dot equip model by name player inventory dot current equipment dot left hand model name. And then right hand model changer dot equip model by name player inventory dot current hand equipment dot right model name. And then else, well, if we don't have any hand equipment, we just have to assign all of the naked equipment values. So we'll say lower right arm model changer equip naked lower right arm, lower left arm model changer equip the model by name your naked lower left arm. And I accidentally start with the right one, and I start with the left one every other time. So I'm just going to put this above it because I'm very meticulous like that. Okay. Naked lower left arm, and then our 2 hands, and then we're finished. So left hand, equip model by name, naked left hand. And then our right hand, equip model by name, naked right hand. Now, providing we've done everything correctly, this should be it. So let's save this now, and let's see what's happening. Oh, you know, we actually have to make sure we're unequipping all the hand stuff first before we equip new stuff. Let's do that. Lower left arm model changer unequip all models. Lower right arm changer unequip all models. And then the left and right hand unequip all models. Okay. And then we have to go into the game, and we have to assign those models to our new hand equipment and our torso equipment. We need to give them some upper arm models. Otherwise, you'll have some naked upper arms. Okay, so let's go here. Let's make sure we're giving the right names here. The right arm for the right arm, the left arm for the left arm. Assigning all my naked values now. I'm just going to look for mine and copy and paste them. Yours may be different than mine because I renamed some and I didn't rename other ones. So there we go. All filled out. Now, if I take off my armor and start the game, which I'm going to do, we should see that my player is completely naked. Yep, there we go. Excellent. Now, the elbow pads and knee pads are still there because I haven't done them on this video, but I will probably do them off video. Okay, so let's create a new equipment, hand equipment. I'm just going to call these Knight's Gauntlets. And let's assign the lower left and lower right arm pieces and the left hand and right hand pieces. And there we go. And on my chest piece, as you can see, I've assigned some upper left and right arm pieces. So now when I equip my chest plate, it will actually fill in the arms as well. So let's start the game. And as you can see, we are naked. And now let's actually throw on a piece of armor and see how it looks. We'll do one at a time. So let's go to the leg equipment. Let's put on the Knight's Plate legs. And as you can see, it will fill in the hips and the left and right leg. Excellent. Okay. Let's stop the game again. We'll go over to our hand equipment. Now this should fill in the lower arms and the hands. And boom, yep, there we go. And now let's throw on the chest plate equipment, and that will fill in the upper arms and the torso. And there we go, guys. So now you have a fully functional modular equipment system, which allows you to swap out different pieces of your equipment, especially easy if you're using a Cinti model. But these principles will work across any kind of model that references different parts of its models via game objects or children of game objects. So if you like the video, please drop a like, leave a comment. It does help appease the YouTube algorithm gods. And if you're feeling super generous, check out my Patreon below. We're going to do a little bit more work on the equipment system. Specifically, we're going to give armors absorption, so when you get hit with armor on, you won't take as much damage. And then, if all else goes to plan, I'm prototyping a boss system right now, and we're going to start doing boss fights and boss areas. We're going to start messing with world aspects very soon. So I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.